Oh,
So
it's
Andrew, can
like,
you hear us yet?
Yes, I can.
There you are. Hey.
Hey, guys. Are you Chantel?
I am.
Hi.
Hi. How are you?
Good. Happy Thursday, you guys.
happy Thursday, Andrew. Good to see you.
Good to see you too, Adam.
Have you been?
Real good. There's Dave Kramer.
Hey, buddy. Good to
What's
see
going
you.
on? Are you in Florida?
I am actually in Los Angeles right now.
What? That's not Florida.
No. I'm actually on my
And
way.
wasn't it?
I'm on my way to Kauai. I'll be getting on the plane in 4 hours.
Oh, that's awesome. I forgot you guys were going
Now
to
all of
Hawaii.
us start drooling, right?
Yeah.
I like the classy hotel lobby thing with the people with luggage carts rolling by in the background.
The big
Yep.
You're fancy, dude.
You got the whole thing going on. Hey,
Got the
Jade.
whole chandelier and everything. You're fancy, man.
Yup.
No, it's a nice hotel.
Well,
Yeah,
of course, that's how you roll.
spent time in the bar last night talking to people about business. Then I got in the hot tub and talked to people about business. It's a blast. I was in the airport sitting next to people talking about business.
It's Dave.
It's a great vacation.
Oh.
I love your hustle, brother. I love your hustle.
You should see taking him to Starbucks. It's quite a sight. He stands in line and starts chatting people up, and all of a sudden he's in conversations about business.
Well, they say that you'll gravitate toward talking about things that you're interested in, right?
That's true.
Meanwhile,
Hi,
Andrew, I
Jade.
like the outfit. The whole flower and everything is awesome.
Oh, thank you.
He's all dressed up today.
Yeah.
So, Chantel, you've never met Andrew before, huh?
I haven't.
I always appreciate Andrew's choice of threads.
Oh, so this is normal for him, huh?
Oh,
yeah.
man, he's one of the most well-dressed men in Denver.
Awesome.
Andrew, you make me look like a scrub.
As
Yeah,
he's sitting there in his t-shirt, you know.
It's funny.
Yeah, at least you're not wearing a women's t-shirt like one of your past salesmen. Ben.
Who?
Who was that? RJ? RJ used to wear the women's shirts. Like the little sleeves like this, you know, like they go like right there.
the really deep V.
Yeah.
Oh.
I totally didn't even think about it like that. I love you, Tim.
I actually still have that picture. That is hilarious.
Nice.
The deep V.
We had all kinds of people joining in. Hi, Destiny and Katie. And we had Abbey for a second, and now she's back. Yay. Oh, and she's on mute.
Now you can hear me.
There you are.
I was trying to get stuff done in the last like 2 minutes.
Well,
But I wanted to be on.
that's a brand new business owner. She's got all kinds of stuff to do all at once.
I sure do.
Abby, you're doing a lot of things right. I'm getting email marketing stuff from you and seeing you on Facebook and hearing people talking about you. You're
Yay!
in growth mode. I love it.
That's good. I'm trying. I actually met with a girl today that I might hire to start contracting stuff out to, or just to do like my back office tasks.
Do you need a VA?
I sure do, Katie.
Well, you know, it's interesting because today's topic is about independent contractor rules.
There we
Well, there you
go.
go.
Perfect. I knew there was a reason I joined.
Awesome. How to find somebody that is you.
Exactly. Well, I've been telling you, Katie, I need to hire one of me for me.
I know. Totally get it. We all need to hire one of us as for us.
I know, right?
Anyway,
Because it's always my stuff that gets pushed to the back end of everything.
Mhm. Totally. Dave, where's the ocean?
I got stories for y'all. I'll wait till everybody joins in.
Okay. What are you eating?
Some wonderful sweet potato chips. I don't even like sweet potatoes, but these are amazing.
Good to know.
Nice.
Brought to you by AllPro
I
website.
was just gonna say, I'm like, somebody paying you to eat those? That was a good setup.
When I'm on vacation, the only chips I eat
Oh
are
my God.
1 potato, 2 potato chips.
Wow.
You've got to end that with the turn and smile with the thumbs up.
Oh,
Right?
yeah, gotta do it.
Oh, it's perfect.
Stephanie, we finally got you. I keep seeing you try.
Yeah, I was curious about whether I was visible during those startup stages. It open, well, maybe interact with it. I click on it, it freezes, close it.
Are we still on for after this, Stephanie?
Oh, that was going to be my question. I tried to reach you but couldn't.
Ah,
Yeah,
we
or-
can
This
do
is
something
cool,
else.
y'all. Check out what's behind me.
a person?
A person?
Oh, no, you'll see it in a minute. Anyway, hi, Destiny.
Hello.
Do we have any business connections out in Hawaii? I'm gonna be out there.
Yeah.
On Oahu, I can give you a ton.
Really?
On Kauai, not so much.
Okay. Maybe I can interview somebody virtually or something.
What you looking for?
I'll get back to you on that.
Okay.
All right. Well, I think we've got enough people to
Got
get
enough
started.
to get
Yeah.
Cool. Well, welcome to virtual networking where, yeah, we all get to actually see each other and in all kinds of places, not have to drive. Welcome, everybody. We've got people from all over the place. Okay, so this should be fun. And so go ahead and start using that chat area. So chat who you are and where you're joining us from. And Stephanie, of course, everybody, because that's a speciality. So, Stephanie, let's have you introduce yourself first.
Okay, my name is Stephanie O'Brien. I'm a fiction author, comic artist, video editor, marketing coach, and copywriter. I've published 4 books through Amazon's Kindle, and I help business owners to attract more clients by helping them figure out what marketing materials they need and what to say in those materials. Then, if they don't have the time or desire to make the materials themselves, I write the materials for them. If you want to know more about me, my website is www.coachclientconnection.com.
She's also the one that puts all the very cool, useful blogs on our Facebook page. So those are always good.
Yes. Thank you for that.
Yes.
Welcome.
So thanks, Stephanie.
I'm glad you're enjoying them.
Yeah, definitely. So thank you, Stephanie from Canada. We've got Adam in Denver.
Sorry, I had to unmute. This is Adam with Employer Essentials here in Denver, and my friend Harris. He is the monkey on the back of business owners. We see a lot of business owners who are growing and feeling the pressure of growth and that weight and that stress. What's this guy? So we tame Harris and keep that monkey off the back of the business owners so they can focus on those high value tasks that help them actually grow the business, not just running it.
You need a bigger monkey. That one doesn't seem like he'd be all that much trouble.
I'll put him up close. He feels bigger.
There you go.
You'd be surprised. He may be little, but
That's
you were
right.
bugging at him just a little while ago.
That's
That's
Anyone who
right.
says not to let the little things bug you has never slept in a room with a mosquito.
Good one. Yes.
Yes.
You must be a writer.
I was going to say,
Yep.
there's a
No, I mean, I kind of stole that quote. I forget from who.
We've got Abbey from Denver.
Hello. I'm Abbey, Assistant for the Win. I'm a virtual assistant who works primarily with solopreneurs and or really small businesses that need to get those tasks off their plate, like marketing, administrative, client relations tasks so that they can focus on networking and building their business. And my website just went live on Saturday, so I'm really, really excited about that. So I'm like even more searchable now. I'm like a real business owner.
You put it in the chat.
Okay, cool, I will.
Cool.
Awesome, thanks.
Thank you. And we've got Monica over in Cheyenne.
Hi, I'm Monica Miller, and I'm in Cheyenne, Wyoming, and I am a book writing coach for coaches and speakers who want to become profitable and convertible authors, and also want to become bestsellers because I work with somebody who does that, which is awesome. So yeah, and you can learn more about me at monicawrites.com.
Cool. Thanks, Monica. And we got Dave, who's mostly just on the move.
All right, guys. So you've all seen that movie where the couple is running through the airport. They get to security and they get stopped and they get through security and then they run all the way to their gate and they watch the airplane pull away.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, that was last night. So,
Ouch.
yeah. So we're all excited to go to Hawaii, and we're in LA. And so we got a pretty nice hotel and just bunked it for the night, and we'll be heading out in a couple of hours. So we're still on our way.
I was wondering why you were in LA, but I'm like, well, I don't know the details.
My goodness, Dave.
Well, you make missing a flight look stylish, Dave.
It was just like the movies, though. It was pretty funny.
There you go. Nice. We've got Miss Katie Myers.
Hi, everybody. I'm Katie Myers. I am the CEO of CR Conversations, and I specialize in helping coaches and consultants avoid the entrepreneurial F word, failure, in their sales conversations. So I help them to be better communicators that leads to better revenue and the results that they are looking for.
Excellent. Thank you, Katie.
Yeah.
And Dr. Tim.
I'm Tim Washburn. I own Integrity Technologies, and we help business owners utilize and leverage technology to make their job more efficient and easier. And we also connect business owners with their clients by utilizing technology to, again, make that whole interaction more efficient.
Nice. Thank you, Tim. And Miss Jade.
Hi, I'm Jade Alexander with Found Synergy Videography. I know some of you, hi, I miss you. We specialize in creating videos for your entrepreneurs, you people that don't have millions of dollars to spend on a video. We're here to help you, and we do extremely nice videos at a cost-effective rate for you. And we make it a stress-free environment because who needs stress? We got plenty of it out there, and this is not my stress face. So this is what you get to work with. Jade Alexander with Found Synergy Videography.
The stress face comes later, right? Cool. Andrew.
Yes, hi. I'm Andrew Doze with NationSearch Background Screening. We do background screening for small, medium, and large businesses. We do this through quick turnaround times, live support, and a person who does quality control instead of a computer.
Nice. Cool stuff. And Miss Coach Destiny.
Hi, everybody. I'm Coach Destiny from the Colorado Coaching Company, and I help small business owners to rewrite the BS stories that they're telling in their heads that prevent them from success. For example, fear of making phone calls or the fear of doing presentations. And instead, they get to stand in their power and have confidence, and that leads to a rockin' business.
Great job, guys. Awesome. And then, Gina, who has a cell phone, so she's having trouble, but she's here. So Gina, tell us about you.
Nice to see you back, Gina.
It's
Hey,
good to have you.
I've missed you guys too. Yep, I'm Gina. I'm an independent bookkeeper out here in the San Francisco Bay Area. I don't get to join too terribly often, but Thursdays are my work from home day, which was making it really easy for me to join you guys. But then I got an assistant, which was great news for me. But it just meant that I was spending time training, unfortunately, but she was not able to join me today. So it's like, yeah, I'm back on the call. Yeah, I'm an independent bookkeeper. About half of my clients I see locally, physically in their office. The other half is on cloud-based accounting software called Xero, Xero, which makes it really awesome and easy to work with people that I've never even met. I don't have to get on the road, get in traffic, and we can just makes it really easy to collaborate with people. So yeah, that's probably it about me.
Good to have you back, Gina. And even though she hasn't been on, she's actually been introducing, getting in touch with people and introducing various people to all kinds of accountants and getting them to speak at an event. And yeah, she's great.
Yeah, I'm trying to work with you guys. Yeah, Tim and I spoke, and I guess Aiden, your attorney, she's going to speak. I'm co-president of the Bookkeepers Association here in the Bay Area, and we have presenters that join. So yeah, when something catches my attention, I'll definitely try and hook up with you guys, connect with you guys.
Cool job. All right, good stuff. So some of you are already doing it, but of course we can always utilize the chat since we can't pass around business cards, go ahead and put the way you'd like to be contacted within the chat so we can keep in touch that way. And we can keep those conversations rolling. But we also have an awesome speaker today. So we have Adam, and he's gonna tell us all about Adam stuff.
And remember that in the chat, you know, if you want to get in contact with somebody, you can do that at any time.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
All right, Adam, you ready?
I am ready.
All right.
All right. Perfect. Well, let's get started. So today I want to talk about some of the issues facing businesses in that startup phase. You know, when you're early in your business's genesis, spending money is something you do very wisely. You have to be educated on what you're going to do. And one of the first areas that comes into play, and as I heard from Abbey earlier, is how to get more bandwidth to your business. Does that mean hiring? Does that mean independent contractors? And often the first way we see businesses go is with independent contractors. So the areas I want to try to cover today, I'm going to focus specifically on the independent contractor rules. If we have some time, I also want to get into misclassification of W-2 employees, that exempt versus non-exempt rule, and then maybe touch on some sick time and holiday pay things as well. So as we go, if you have some questions, let me know. I've built in some time to make sure that you can ask me anything, and the notes that I have this from come in a PDF, and I can share those with anybody at the end of this as well. Just reach out to me and I'll email you that PDF. So as far as the independent contractor rules go, the IRS has set the bar pretty high. You might have heard of the 20 rule test that the IRS has put in place. And I want to show you a couple things to help you understand what exactly you're navigating. So I'm going to share my screen here real quick. And this is the IRS's website, which I'm sure you all can imagine was built just to completely be intuitive and easy for a business owner to just point and click to write what they need. If you don't catch the sarcasm,
not to
please
mention,
do.
Beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Lots of orange, which is supposed to make you feel something, I'm guessing.
The urge to leave?
Yeah. So when you go to the IRS's website and just look at what independent contractor rules mean, this is the page you're going to come to. And this page gives you link after link to sub-pages that help to try to explain it in greater detail. And there's 3 pages they focus on. And those are the behavioral, financial, and type of relationship rules. So I'll show you here some of those. The behavioral control, they break out into long-winded answers. The financial control, do they have a significant investment? Do they have reimbursed investments? The type of relationship, written contracts, benefits. They lay it out in a way that feels very overwhelming. And then they're going to put this cherry on top, which is their IRS form, which is called the SS-88. And the SS-88 might be the worst form ever created. The SS-88 was specifically built, and if I can get this to move out of my way, I apologize, is the form that they give businesses to go ahead and fill out to see where they fall. We're on to page 4 before you get to a signature page. If you ever want to flip through that, you'll find that there aren't any explanations. So now I'm going to share something else on my screen. I'm going to stop the share real quick and move over to this piece. There are 21 rules that the IRS lays out, or 20 rules really. Do they take instruction? Do they receive training? Is the success of the business dependent on what they do? must the person perform the contracted services. You can see how this lays it out. I'm not going to read each one to you, but the point really is there are 20 simple rules that they don't give you anywhere. And the 21st rule that you hear me referring to is you have to give those 20 rules to your independent contractors in writing and say, these are the rules that bind our relationship. So right off the bat, if you're contracting somebody and you're not putting it in writing, you are automatically putting yourself at risk of having them be an employee. Some of the other simple tasks that people should be aware of, if you're providing any supplies, office space, support of anything, if you tell them where to be and when to be there, those are all hallmarks of an employee. Now, the IRS puts one last caveat in place that makes this really awesome. See, I'm a sports fan, as you guys know, and I like things like baseball and batting averages. And a good baseball player hits 300. That's 3 out of 10. The IRS gives you 20 rules and says you got to be perfect. You got to go 20 for 20. And if you don't, they're an employee. And so these things create a lot of rules that you have to follow. It's not impossible and it's not overwhelming if you create the right things on the front end. So having these rules and laying it out for your new independent contractors to define the relationship on the front end will provide you a lot of security and a lot of stability, so that even when you have to terminate someone as an independent contractor, it comes in a way where they can't come back at you and say, this person didn't have me classified right and now I want to be made whole. Because all of this comes with a penalty on the back end where the IRS is allowed to penalize you equal to or greater than the amount of taxes originally due. So it won't be less than, but it'll be equal to or greater than. So the IRS does not mess around when it comes down to independent contractor rules. And so those are pretty significant rules. Does anybody have any questions on those specifically?
We've got Stephanie raising her hand.
Oh, please go ahead, Stephanie.
Yeah. So if you're a Canadian hiring an independent contractor in the US, do the IRS rules apply or would it be Canadian rules that apply?
That is an interesting thing. I thought you might ask that, so I looked into this. They're based here in the United States. Then they are regulated by our labor laws.
Okay, good to know. Thank you.
Yeah. So if they are physically in the United States, then that's where the labor laws matter.
Nice job.
So yeah, the most common things we see. Now you'll hear stories, and that's where I want to kind of touch on some of the things, because you hear a lot in the news about people violating independent contractor rules, especially when there's a big bust. A few years ago here in Colorado, one of the meat processing plants up in Greeley was busted for having employees who were misclassified because of one of them sued, and they went back and looked at it and said, you were classifying your office manager as an independent contractor. You owe a lot of taxes. So there have been precedents, and often that's where it comes up, is somebody gets let go and says, well, hold on, I should have been an employee this whole time and I want my money back. And it comes through litigation. But the other thing you hear a lot about is roofing companies and moving companies. There's been a big crackdown in those because each team is an independent subcontractor. So creating some arm's length agreement that kind of blurs the line enough to feel like it's an independent contractor is something the IRS has experience at looking at and don't have a lot of patience with. So if you feel like it's on the line, so will the IRS. And this is one of those areas where it is very black and white. If it's 19 for 20 on that list, it's an employee. It does not matter. So
2 minutes, Adam.
Okay. Jade, go ahead.
How does this work with trade accounts? Let's say I want to trade Chantel calling some people for me if I make her a video.
With trade accounts, in that situation, there isn't a contractual obligation on either side, so it doesn't fall into these rules. Trade is an outside piece.
Okay, thank you.
Absolutely. So, and the last thing I want to touch on just briefly is if you do hire, a lot of times people hire and say, I want to put somebody on salary. And they think that makes them avoid overtime. And this non-exempt versus exempt category is where that comes in. And so if you hire somebody to be an employee because they don't need that 20 for 20 independent contractor rule, but think you can put them on salary, generally speaking, that salary is going to be to 40 hours. Anything above 40 would still qualify for overtime unless they're an executive, an administrative, or administrator, or a professional. It's the EAP test, and sales professionals also fall into a unique category. Tim, IT guys also fall into a unique category with that due to the flexible requirements of their work. So there are ways to avoid having to pay overtime if you choose salary, depending on the work category. But generally speaking, when a business owner says, I'm going to hire somebody and pay them an X salary, they're thinking that's a way to avoid overtime, and it is not. It only covers that employee working 40 hours per week. Does that make sense?
Adam, this is super helpful. It would have been, now that I don't have an employee. I'm just saying.
Next time we make the right decision.
I'm just saying. No, yeah. I think like that kept me avoiding. I'm like, it's contractors all the way. And yes, I'm making sure that they're legit, Adam. But I do actually have a quick question for you. So being on the receiving end, because a lot of us are, our own business owners. And if you're a part of an organization where you are a 1099 person, so let's say basically like you get commissions from whatever that organization is doing. Mm-hmm. How do you, so it would, because how I read those rules is really like, that's for the employer to make sure that they are sticking to the right rules, right? So is that, do you translate those same things if you are the contractor, making sure that you're abiding by those same things, or is there even more of a, here's how you look at it from the contractor standpoint?
Yeah, when you are the independent contractor, not the contractee.
Yes.
There is no burden on you to make sure you're following those rules. The burden falls solely on the company that is contracting you.
Got it.
So if they provide you with material support and tell you to do it as part of your contract, mm-hmm. and you do it because you don't want to lose that income, that does mm-hmm. not open you up to liability. That is their risk that they're taking.
Thank you.
And when it comes, especially when it comes to labor law, the burden is almost always on the employer or the contractor, not the contract independent person.
Got it.
Excellent. Somebody else had a question? I know I saw Dave's hand as well.
Yeah, Dave and I didn't see anybody else yet.
Do you understand what's going on with the new law that I believe they just passed yesterday about overtime, and that it translates somehow to that you can just give them time off, additional time off, instead of paying them overtime?
Yes, the details aren't clear, and I don't know exactly how they're going to calculate it, but what the legislation that passed the House yesterday said was you could, instead of paying overtime at that time and a half rate or holiday pay at double time and a half, there would be an equivalent that would say this much vacation time would be accrued if you worked it at regular pay. So there's a trade-off, and they don't define whether the employer or the employee gets to decide that. That hasn't been cleared up either. If it's an employee choice issue, I think it's a good option. If it's an employer edict option, that may be concerning, because some people, I know Dave, if you were offering Chantel time off, she'd laugh because she doesn't take time off. Time off, please. Right. you have to take it to make it value. So there's just certain places where if it's an option, I could see people taking it.
I'm trying to
and that
understand.
legislation isn't clear yet.
I'm trying to understand how that's an advantage to the employer, because I believe time and a half would be, I mean, overtime is time and a half, but if you gave them the equal amount of time in full-time pay, that would be paying double.
That's right. And that's where I think it's going to be like for working that day of vacation, you'd get a half day, or that day of overtime or whatever, you'd get a half day. That's what they alluded to. And there would be a calculation in there. It wouldn't be a straight line trade.
It looks like we've got a question from Andrew as well once that subject's up.
Yes, thank you.
Go ahead. Absolutely, Andrew, go ahead.
So I've got, my question is, what kind of language do you look for leads and for referrals? Are you looking for someone that's, what kind of language tips somebody off that they need help with this kind of a process between contract to full-time to part-time? Like what would you like sent your way in terms of specialty?
Absolutely. You know, a lot of times with it comes in a couple forms. One is I'm trying to grow and I'm trying to figure out what to do. Or they've already gone down the independent contractor road. And we hear from those folks a lot of times, I'm really struggling with having those contractors meeting my deadlines and getting my stuff done. And what they're realizing is their lack of control is limiting their ability to be productive with them. And so they need to look at maybe having somebody as an employee at that point. And what's the difference between the two roles?
Awesome.
Because a lot of times we see that person in that second category going, I'm just going to assert more control over my independent contractors. They don't realize by doing so, they're probably violating the IRS independent contractor rules.
Do you just consult with people, or do you work alongside them, or do you kind of do both depending on what they need?
Both depending on what they need. You know, one of the things I love about our consultative approach is that we come in with a full menu of options, and we're going to meet the business owner on their terms, where their needs are. If they have an HR person or a person that's in their family who does bookkeeping and payroll, and they just need some guidance on ensuring that they have handbook policies and independent contractor agreements and those legal documents that prove they're doing the right thing in place, we can help with just that.
Gotcha.
So we're really looking to meet them on their terms.
Nice. And then did I see Dave has another question?
So how dangerous is this? If I was to hire Abbey to do some virtual assistant work for me, or if I was to hire Tim to come out for 2 hours and fix a computer, is there a danger that they could be classified as my employees?
No. The IRS has had that fight with other businesses, and that is a ruling that is now on file and standing with the IRS. They'd have to change significant precedents to do something like that. That is contract work, and that is a defined category of business where you are calling them out for a project. You're giving them an open time frame, not a defined be here by 9. You know, that's why like a lot of times you hear with deliveries and things like that, those are a window so that they don't cross a line into you have to be here by 9. It's a morning delivery, so I need you sometime between 9 and noon.
All right, thanks.
Any other questions on this?
You answered mine.
I love it. If I can ever be of help to you when you're looking at those contractor agreements, before you hire somebody, before you have them come on as a contractor, you know, Abby, if there's a cup of coffee in our future to make sure you're comfortable with how you're bringing someone on, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I put my email in the chat,
Awesome.
and I'm happy to both provide you with the document that contains the notes for my presentation today,
Perfect.
and also to just sit down and make sure people are comfortable making wise decisions. You know, it doesn't matter whether you buy from me or someone else. My goal in all of this is to provide businesses with the knowledge to be good stewards to the people that they hire, and don't have to apologize to them down the road because they did something that ends up shutting the business down. if I can support that business owner in that experience and they can grow and thrive to where they want to be, everybody wins.
Amen. Thank you so much, Adam. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right. So moving on, a couple of things I wanted to talk about. One is we're continuing to want to bring valuable speakers to this event. And hopefully you feel that we've been doing that with some of the sales training and things that we've had. Do you have ideas for additional topics that you'd like to hear? Go ahead and throw those into chat for me. That would be very helpful. I'm kind of running out of ideas, but I know that business owners need lots of, advice. And if we have to pay people to come and speak, we're going to do that. We want to bring real valuable speakers, and they don't have to be a member of the group. So if you even know somebody that you want to create an introduction for me, I do pre-screen the speakers, and I want to make sure they actually know what they're talking about. I want to make sure we're providing value. So if you have an idea, please send those my way. Just send me an email or throw it in chat or whatever.
Question.
Yes.
Can you, for those of us that have only been on a few calls and don't know like the speakers you've previously had, could you like recap like what the last year's worth of speakers have been, so we're not throwing out ideas that you're like, oh, well, we already did this before you joined?
Well, I can, but I would say if you still feel there's a need, then we'll just cover it again. We've been spending a lot of time on sales training recently because I feel personally, I mean, that's, if you don't have sales, you don't have a business. Katie, what would you say about that?
I would agree with that.
What a shocker.
That was a good plug for me. Thank you.
No sales would lead to failure, right?
Yes, F word. Big F word.
And then the other thing that I think is really important to grow a business is marketing. So Jade, you probably have something to say about that, right? I mean, you got to market your business. And then kind of some of the other stuff is keeping things lined up. So like your bookkeeping and even your processes, trying to stay efficient. Those are things that I see as important to a business, but I'd like to hear what your thoughts are.
And Dave, if you want to touch base with me at some point when you get a list together, I bring in speakers for my group, and maybe we've got some similarities where we can I can help you out.
Okay, thank you. That'd be awesome. Jade, did you have something?
Oh, I was just thinking something I'm running into is that I'd love to have more training on how to organize the people that I bring in, because I know how I think and I know my situation, but utilizing something like AllPro Web Tools or When I Work or any of those things on how to make sure on top of your organization that you're organizing your people well would be a great thing, because you think you know what you're doing, you have no idea. It's like trying to wrangle cats.
It really is. It really is. And Stephanie, I saw your hand.
Yeah, I'd be happy to present on content marketing, educational marketing, and copywriting if I have a couple of weeks notice for it.
Okay, great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Dave, do you know Jill Christensen?
No, I do not.
Okay, I'll make the intro. I think she does employee engagement, and she's speaks nationally on it at this point. So.
Okay. Yeah, we really want the group to be beneficial to everybody. So if you don't feel it's being beneficial to you, let us know. And we'll go out. You've seen we've reached out to other states to grab speakers on specific topics. And this gives you actual almost one-on-one communication with an expert in that field. So that's the value that we want to provide.
And of course, if anybody wants to see our experts from the past, we have AllPro Web Tools / virtual, and we've got all the recordings of our previous meetings so that you can kind of see and go back. And of course, then we can also now show people, anybody that we hear talking about looking at hiring somebody or hiring a contractor, we can send them to Adam's video and get some pointers there.
That's a very good point. And I'm actually getting ready to start advertising on YouTube for the videos that we've already done. So when you guys are doing your 30-second promotions, more and more people are going to be seeing that. And that's also, there's a reason that that's in the beginning of the video, so that when we promote those videos and people just click for a couple of minutes, they're going to actually get to hear everybody speak.
It's also a good reason to go ahead and make sure you put your contact information in the chat so that if somebody sees the video, because we put that in the comments. So that way, if somebody sees the video and they want to reach out to you, they actually have an avenue to do that.
Yep, very good point.
Hey guys, one of the limitations of me doing this on my phone is the text chats come through pretty quickly and I can't grab them. And Chantel, maybe I need a little more training on it. But and I saw a couple come through from Andrew, and I'm sorry I wasn't able to grab them or respond. But my info is Gina, Gina.Woodman, WOODMAN @gmail.com. And if you want to shoot me an email, I'll definitely follow up. Sorry about that. I got to get with the technology.
We'll play with that some more. You can do the chatting on your phone. It's a little more.
I know. And I got to pick it up, and it's makes me look too goofy.
Something else that we recommend is getting one of these name tags. We'll be happy to help you and show you how to set that up, as long as your name is not Katie Myers.
Yeah, for real though. I break things when Dave tries to help me with stuff.
We spent like an hour trying to get it to work, and it just wouldn't go. So,
well, the colors are so similar, it might cause an issue.
Right?
Ooh, what?
No, they have very similar. They have the same green in their colors.
We do. We have the same green, but
yeah, when I walk into her office, I feel at home.
I feel like your place too.
All right. Well, with that, we appreciate the feedback. Thank you so much. And thank you for your participation as well. We'll go ahead and open it up for announcements. Katie.
Hi. So I am doing the last Tuesday of every month. I do an hour Zoom training on different topics each month. My May training is on how to build a customer retention plan. And it is crazy accessible to everyone. I will put the link in the chat. It's only $25 to join it live, or you can pay the $25 and get the recording. So if you're looking to figure out how the heck you keep those people once you've got them, that's what I'll be talking to you about.
And what time do you do that?
Oh, thanks. 4 p.m. Mountain Standard Time.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Destiny.
Coach Sean and I are doing our Business Accelerator the 4th Thursday of the month. So that's May 25th from 6 to 8 p.m. This month is about knowing your numbers. And as business owners, like knowing what they are and then how a 10% increase in just a couple of areas can grow your business dramatically. So I'm going to put the link to get tickets into the chat. And yeah, I hope to see you there.
Very nice. Any other announcements for us? Cool. Well, our announcement, as always, is we will be back next week. And we will also, of course, be posting this video. We'll put it in the Facebook group. So if anybody's not in the Facebook group, feel free to get yourself invited. It's AllPro Web Tools virtual, or AllPro Virtual Networking. And yeah, so that way the conversations and the networking and the passing of leads and ideas can continue throughout the week as well.
Yes, and if there's somebody here that you haven't talked to yet,
yes,
like maybe somebody new who just showed up for the first time, reach out to them. Reach out to them through chat and schedule a time. And you know what? You don't have to meet for coffee. You can do it just like this.
I have coffee.
Right. BYOC.
Yeah, there you go.
Love it.
Cool stuff. Well, I think that's the end of the meeting officially. We do leave it open for a while afterwards so that people can continue conversations or the chat just in case they wanted to double check the things. And yeah, so there we are.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for the opportunity, everybody.
It was
Don't
so
miss
fun.
your-
Great
You
job,
did
Adam.
awesome, Adam.
Don't
Thank
miss
you.
your flight, Dave.
Again.
Although it would be a really good story if you did miss it twice. I may have to make fun of you at that point.
Come on, get it together.
If you're
Put on
running,
social media when you're in there, like second time
Right.
on the plane.
Yes.
That way we know.
running
Yes.
from the plane again,
Right.
you
It's Facebook Live. Running through
Just show, just show a picture of me like this.
Yeah.
Nice.
Awesome.
Well, have a
Alright.
great week, everyone.